Hello, everybody. Welcome to Within the Cauldrons Tuesday show, which is now called Talking to the Divine Tuesdays. My name is Andrina. My witchy name is Afina. I will be doing this show every Tuesday with my beautiful sister Willow, who is also known as Sherry to a lot of you. So, everybody, as you all know, I do paranormal and I also do witchcraft, but there is a little bit in the middle where you can combine the two to talk to the spirits, as Sherry and I well know. But just a little bit about our channels first before we get into all that, and I'll let Sister say her channel name and things first.
Hello, so I am Willow and known as Sherry on PWI Spiritual Investigators. I am an investigator, I am a witch, I am a practiced Celtic Druid shaman, and I'm here to educate, to uplift, and to just inspire people and to help people to reach their path. So welcome to the show, guys. I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, everybody, Sister has got her show on a Monday that we do, which is called Willow's Witchy Den. So remember and check that out as well. So, guys, on a Tuesday, I wanted to make it a bit about divination. Last week, we did the show on the Wednesday, and we did a little bit of tarot, a little bit of postcard from Spirit. We also did the Oracle cards, which was... I think it was the Keepers of the Light, yeah. So, but there's many different ways to talk to the divine energies, your spirit guides, even just the spirits around you, even your subconscious. There's loads of ways to talk to it, to communicate. So there's the ways that people communicate, you don't even realize that you're communicating with spirit. I mean, there's things that we say every day in life that you don't even realize is a communication. Why do you think a lot of the Christians take offense when you say, oh God, if you stub your toe or something? That's because you're saying the God's name in vain. You're calling upon him for something that you don't even, for you stubbing your toe, basically. So that is a form of divination. You have called upon God just because you stubbed your toe. So things like that we say all day long, and I wrote a couple of them down, guys, just to show you just how much we do use spirit words. So when you want to flatter a woman, such as we always call them a goddess or something, and that is calling upon that goddess energy to make the lady feel good. And you also, like, if she's a smaller lady, you maybe call her a little sprite or my little sylph or something. It's all little cute names that is meant to make them feel good. And also, if you want to make her feel inspirational, you would call her a muse. If she's a little bit irresistible, she's a siren. There's all different categories of spirit, guys, and a lot of this information I just want to tell you is out the Encyclopedia of Spirits by Judica Ilse. So a lot of this information is out there, guys, so please definitely check out that book. But there's also like a man as well. A man, you can call him Adonis, you can call him Apollo. Like musicians, you call him Orpheus, and maybe the larger ladies as well. You could call them voluptuous, statuesque, Junesque, and these are all goddesses and things, guys, that was many moons ago that people copied. But that's why it's now in to be our little cute names for each other, is because it was such a thing a way back. But there's also negative sides of it as well. So even if, like, see, when you things like you maybe oh, I'm stuck in a queue, and like, oh, for hell's sake, get me out this queue, or oh hell this, oh hell that, you do not realize, but you're actually calling upon that god. I think it's a god. Is that god or a goddess? Oh, it's a Greek spirit whose name is actually hell. So things like that, you don't even realize that you're conjuring some of these energies, but that is all ways of communicating with spirit that we don't even know we're doing it. So that's just a wee bit of that, guys. But there's lots of different ways that you can say that you're communicating with the spirits. I mean, a lot of the tools that we use as witches, I'd say they probably use the pendulum a lot. Your pendulum you can get in all different ways, things as well, guys. Like, so you've got your pendulum that may be like a black onyx or black obsidian and things. Maybe you would use that for communicating with, maybe when you need a little bit of protection and things. You would use the obsidian and this just to give you a little bit of protection. Also, remember, you can charge your crystals. The sisters, I think sisters is what's that? Is that what's the red one? I always forget what the red one's called. I'll come to it. Jasper.
Bloodstone.
Stone, yeah. So you can charge it. So
Jasper or blood, or it could be blood. It could be blood. It could be bloodstone as well. It's one or the other.
Yeah, there's so many of them, and there's loads of different ways you can tell them apart, guys. But it is pretty hard sometimes to tell them apart. But you can charge them, so you can sit with your pendulum in your hand before you do any communication. And guys, I have saged in here. Well, I've not actually saged. I've lit my sage incense. I have also got a white candle lit, just in case we are going to come across any spirits with showing you divination tools, especially once I get to the ghost hunting ones. So you can sit and charge your pendulum. You charge your pendulum. Sister's got them out as well, yeah. You sit and charge it for a little bit of intent. So you can hold it in your hand, such as I'm doing just now, and just hold it and say, and within it while you're holding it, please, when I do start communication, gods and goddesses, ancestors, loved ones, angels, please make only good communication through the pendulum. And if you're using it for crossing over the spirits as well, you charge it with that energy, just to say, please make the pendulum, help the pendulum get them to where they need to be. Absolutely anything, guys. Remember, this is all your path to do with it, what you want with your words. So that's just a little bit about how you can charge your pendulum. But with your pendulum, you do have things like, for example, I've got a copper one right now on this. To be honest, this doesn't really work. It's a little stand that you can get for the pendulum to sit on. This one's a copper one, as I said. So basically, you can intend it, and with that, I've got it sitting on the different signs right now. But you can get like a pendulum board. So you can take the pendulum off that for talk's sake. That doesn't really work, guys. That's the truth. So you get your pendulum board. If you want to find out maybe when somebody's birth sign is, for example, all around the board you've got January, February, March, April, May, June, July, September. If you wanted to know what star sign there was, there's all that around the board. If you're bad with eyesight, you use the darker one. And there's yes, no's, answers there. There's maybes, there's days of the week, there's the alphabet and things. So you could get a lot of good communication out of that, especially with your spirit guides or something. If you were wanting to find out who they are, you could ask, and through them giving you maybe their date of birth and things, you can maybe trace them in your ancestral line. But that's a good way to communicate with maybe your more personable spirits as your pendulum. And you get all different ones, guys. As I said, you can get any crystal you want, basically, at the bottom of it. And the pendulum boards are good. But along with the pendulum board, you get the actual... What did I do with it? There it's like a little velvet one that just sits on a table. And then again, it's got the same questions, guys. It's got the yes, no's, the maybes and things. And it looks much like a spirit box. A Ouija board, to be honest, but it's not the Ouija board. We'll get that over and done with. So the next board that you've got to communicate with spirits is your Ouija board, guys. You also get ones that's meant to be like spirit boards, angel boards, things like that. But to be honest with you, I feel that they're all just a Ouija board. And remember, before you start any sort of spirit communication, it's all your intent. It's all what you want to get out the experience. So if you're going to go into the experience of communicating with the spirits, or even if it is just doing tarot cards and things, always be in a good place. Always try and get to a place where you know your aura's clear, you know you've got in a good mood, you know that you've got like a good outlet right now before you start it all, especially if you're going to use something like a Ouija board, guys. I know that I'm going to say don't use them because they're just too unknowing, and I know a lot of people do use them anyway, but if you are going to use them, just set your rules. I'm a great believer in when you pray and you say your prayers and things and you put your protection up before any divination, also set your rules, especially with the board. Just set the rules that you want your spirit guides to have control. You want them to make sure there's only good spirits communicate with the board. Things like that. Just try and put some sort of protection in place in good intent, which is, I can't emphasize it enough, which is really, really important with any divination. So that's a little bit about the Ouija board,
and the
guys.
prayer. There's normally a prayer that's attached to the board.
Yeah, some boards have got the prayer on it, especially the older ones, I think, on the inside. So why are they a toy if they've got prayers in them? Which is so silly. So far, sister, you want to add anything for anything that I've
Yeah.
showed? You want to add any comments? Hi, I'm Kat. Just seeing if Sister Sherry wants to.
As Sis said, you know, with the Ouija board, obviously be really careful when using that and actually do some research on how to use it first, because it's not a game.
Yeah,
Pendulums,
definitely.
to me, are one of my favourite tools to work with, and it's a really easy way to communicate with the spirit. It's a very easy way for them to be able to manipulate it as well. And when I find it really fascinating when you use the pendulums, because you can feel them pulling it and moving it. It's really cool to work with them.
Yeah, definitely.
They're a lot like the dowsing rods, to be honest. I love using the dowsing rods as well. I get some pretty wacky things on my dowsing rods.
Yeah, they
It's
can lead
crazy.
you up a string, can't they?
Yeah.
Do we talk about the dowsing rods, sis, and I'll do the next one?
They make them spin and everything.
Just you want to talk about the
So
dowsing
obviously
rods?
with the dowsing rods, guys, like what we use them for spiritually is it's another form of communication with the spirits and with your deities and energies. So obviously you would pull them out so they're extended. You'd have them in the hands, both of them. Might as well just show you.
Yeah, definitely.
You'd have them out in front of you like so. You'd ask the dowsing rods to go to the middle. Mine are pretty good at using them, so they do it straight away. Then you just ask them what yes is, what no is, and then you go into asking them questions, and they'll either crisscross it for yes, or they're or they go outwards for no. Maybe sometimes when they do a maybe, they just do one dowsing rod going out and then coming back in. So to me, they're really easy ways of communicating with them, and it's a really easy way for them to be able to interact as well. And I think it's a very powerful way, but you've got to make sure you hold them properly and that you've got your hands set in a certain way, as you can manipulate the rods otherwise. So yeah, but you can get some really good communication from them.
Uncle Dan
These were also used.
Sorry.
These were actually, before they were used for like divination tools, they actually were used to track down water and things as well. That was what a lot of dowsing rods were used for in the first place. And then it becomes spiritual. So
yeah, definitely.
Fascinating little tools.
Definitely. Yeah, and they're another way you can get to find out where spirits are, guys. These are really, really handy on an investigation. So you can sit even with your questions that you wanted maybe to ask about where a spirit is standing. The rods will point to where they're standing most of the time. If you, as Sister says, they're good for finding water and things. That's what they were originally used for, was to find water on land. So there's lots of things. I think I used these, but I can't remember if it was the dowsing rods I used up at Colburn or if it was just a normal K2, and they could show you where the spirits were standing. I think it was the dowsing rods. So, and especially if they go, one goes that way and one goes that way, because then you know there's spirits all around you. But these are a great tool, guys. As I said, you can use them for communication with your spirit guides, and if you're on a ghost hunt and things. So they're another great tool. Thank you, sister, for sharing that. So thinking more amazing. About, yeah, definitely are. So thinking more about down the lines of trying to find out answers such as your tarot cards and things. So we'll just do a little minute about the different cards that you get, guys, okay? So the tarot cards did originate, I do believe, by the Rider-Waite. So they set the precipice for tarot cards. And then you've got your original Rider-Waite ones. I think that's these ones, Andrina. You've got your old Rider-Waite deck, which is basically, I think these are it. That's not them. Got that many cards, guys. I do apologise. I think it must be these ones. There's these ones. Oh, they're here. So you've got your Rider-Waite ones, which is, and a lot of your cards will be based on the Rider-Waite. So your Rider-Waite is these ones. The ones that is the traditional, let's call them traditional cards, okay? So if you look at these have got your traditional meanings on them. And so they set the preface for tarot cards. So your tarot cards, as you know, guys, is your journey through life. So you start off as the fool in life, and then you end up with the world. So if you think about what every tarot card means, it's a stumbling block in life. It's one of these things that you grow as. So you start off as a fool. So you start off naive, and then you'll maybe go to being like a little more open. And then if you look where the tower is placed in the deck, a lot of people when they get to their 40s, 50s have like a midlife crisis or something. So the tower is placed right among that deck where you can tell that is where a lot of people will have like a change in their life, a little breakdown and things like that. So your tarot cards, especially Rider Waite, will go along your path of your life. And then as you bring in your arcanas, so that's the major arcana, then you bring in your other arcanas. That's just to show you the little things in life that can help guide you out, maybe show you little signs to know what's coming up and things. But then they brought out, then there's other people that started to think, oh, that's a great idea, bringing out cards to communicate with your divine energies, your spirit guides, your ancestors and things. So I think it was actually maybe even just as tarot cards were coming out, there was a deck called the Normandy deck, and it's more like to tell your future and things like that. So your tarot cards is to help guide you in life, to kind of guide you through it and bring so that you can change it. So your Lenormand deck is your old Gypsy tarot. That's the one that will tell you things like this is the 16th of the M, for example. This will tell you your own star guides you as a good sign when it is shining bright, but sorrow comes if a cloud drift near to hide it from your sight. So basically that's trying to say that just to be careful that things may pop up into your sight that you will have to deal with and things. So it's like a tarot card, oracle card, kind of somewhere in the middle, but they're called Lenormand. So they're more like to see your future. They're more like future cards, like the old gypsy cards. But also a lot of people used to play with just normal playing cards when they're doing tarot. And I do believe you get some decks that emphasise that as well. Still your spades, your hearts, your diamonds and your clubs. But this is where it all starts to go even more crazier.
Yeah, I've got some. They're called fortune telling.
All right. Fortune telling cards. So you've got your oracle cards then again, guys. You've got every sort of type of oracle card there is. Where with your tarot, it will stick to the routine, like your major arcanas and your minor arcanas. It will stick to that so that it shows you your path. But with your oracle cards, it goes down a whole different line. So your oracle cards are for inspiration. They are for to help make you deal with life. So therefore, when you're using divination with oracle, you're calling upon your guides to give you that little bit of information that maybe you're feeling down that day. So we'll draw the postcard for spirit. I meant to start all these shows off with a postcard for spirit. So remember me at the end, Sherry, and I'll do a postcard for spirit for everybody, okay? But they're more for to give you little inspirational messages to help you cope. So you're going through life and you're getting all your things in place, and then you maybe had your tower card where you had your mini breakdown. That's when you'll turn to your oracle cards for a little bit of inspiration. If you remember last week with the Keepers of the Light oracle, for example, they were so that you could choose a card for somebody to help you with a task. So imagine that we were doing the postcard for spirit to try and find somebody to help me with whatever tomorrow. Then I pulled Diana, for example. So Diana is who I would go call upon to talk to divinate with, to ask for advice or whatever it was my problem was with. So they're more to help you guide through. So along with Diana, so you would call upon Diana, pick an oracle card, call upon Diana who came out to you, and then you would go call upon Diana to help you whatever task it was. And then there's also your moonology cards. So if you to find out maybe the best time to do that calling out to Diana, you'd maybe turn to your moonology cards. And moonology cards is so that you're communicating with the goddess herself, who is we all believe is the moon. The moon energy is the goddess energy. So you would maybe call upon the moon Godology cards to help you with that again. So this is one is to tell you, don't let your past hold you back. So this is another little inspirational message. So that you would go to the book at that point, and then you would look up the book to see, all right, okay, so I have to talk to Diana about blah, blah, blah problem. And then the card that I pulled out in the Moonology, don't let your past hold you back, South Node. Let's see what that is, okay? And this will be like another little inspiration from Spirit, from the Divine, to help you with your path. So let's find it, guys. Don't let your past hold you back. Let's find it and see what it's going to tell us, right?
They're very fascinating cards. So many different types. You've got uplifting cards that just give you uplifting quotes. You've got cards that give you spells to do for the day to enlighten you. There's so many different types. It's unbelievable. Animal cards to tell your animal spirits and guides and what crystals to use. There's so many different ones.
And it's all communicating with the divine energies to help you. I mean, that's what divination is. And these are all tools that they give us to help maybe break that down a little bit more. So that's you. You've wanted to communicate with Diana for whatever reason, guys, and this is what they're going to tell you. Don't let your past hold you back, South Node. So the South Node, like the North Node, is a karmic point, but it's opposite to the North Node and relates to the past, perhaps even to past lives. Whatever you're going through and whatever you're asking about, there's a chance that age-old programming and conditioning is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Do you feel stuck in something? The card will often come as a sign that the situation or relationship you're asking about has somehow become suffocated, even toxic. It suggests that someone, you even, need to be released, that there's some kind of addiction going on or an unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out. One thing is for sure, when you get this card, you're being challenged to make some changes, even if staying where you are feels easier and safer. Attune to the moon, release the past. Additional meaning of the card. A relationship is karmic and has played out across many lifetimes. Your attraction to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And then the teaching. The South Node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic going south. On the horoscope chart, it shows us what we are likely to become obsessed with, but which will probably do us little or no good. The South Node is the karmic astrological point that reminds us of the well-known phrase, if you always do what you always do, you'll always get what you always get. So supposing I drew that card for wanting to go do whatever it was going to do, I'm going to choose Diana to talk to. That card is to make me stop and think. Is this going to be the right choice for me to go ahead and do what I was going to do? It's like a card that's going to tell you, look, maybe the choice you're going to make right now isn't going to be the best choice. So therefore, I know this message is coming from my guides. I've asked for their help. I've asked who I should help with. So maybe I should call upon Diana to ask more advice about if I've got the situation right. Should I go ahead with this situation? And that's when you would turn to your divination cards, such as, sorry, another form of divination, such as maybe your coin, which is yes, no. So I've got the divination coin here, guys, and this is where you would maybe turn to that. If I can find what I've done with it. Where is it?
I've got one, but I have put my box somewhere and it's got all of my tools in it and I don't know where I put it all, so I've got to find it.
Somewhere. I just had it 10 minutes ago. It's in a little black... Oh, there's it. Right, so this is you want to, you're like, okay, so is this choice I'm going to make maybe for the best? Should I maybe rethink this full thing? So you're relying on your guides at all times here to just always have faith that whoever you're talking to is the person, the guide, who's got your best interests at heart. So I've got the divination coin here, guys, and it does just say yes on one side and no on the other. So you just put it in your hand like any other form of coin that you're going to toss. And say, right, okay, divine ones, and maybe even hold it to put your energy into it. Okay, and divine ones, I'm going to make a choice here. I'm not sure if it's the right choice. I've consulted the tarot deck. The tarot deck said that maybe right now I'm in the Tower card and I should maybe rethink some things in my life. I called upon the Moonology cards to see, the Keepers of the Light cards to see who I could call upon with this task, and they gave me Diana. So I'm asking you, Diana, should I do this that I'm going to do tomorrow? Should it be something that I'm thinking about doing? And at that point, you have all faith that you're communicating with your guides. So you toss the coin at that point, and to me, it says yes. So that would be the go ahead to say, right, okay, maybe this is going to be a little bit tough.
Everything's okay.
Yeah, but it's going to be okay in the overall run. But if it had been a no, then I would have to trust that they're saying, no, do not do this, because right now might not be the right time. And you can even go further with that, guys. Like you can say, okay, so why are they saying no? So you could go back to your dowsing rods even, or maybe some other form of divination, your spirit box, for example, and ask, okay, why are you saying no? Explain to me why I shouldn't be going ahead right now. And you could even maybe do your crystal ball. Maybe you could do your crystal ball to see who you're communicating with. See, try and put your shawl over your, mine's is on there, over your head and look into it with just a little bit of light coming in. See if you could maybe see who it is that's telling you all this. If it's one of your ancestors' guides that you know would never lie to you, they would never give you false advice and things, then that's when you would say, right, okay, I better not do this because I know that my guides have got my back here. And then as with the yes for me, I would just go ahead and I would do what I had to do. And then at that point, I would go say thank you and things to my altar. I would call upon my altar and say thank you very much, Goddess, for all the advice, and thank you, ancestors and things. I feel confident now going ahead tomorrow to do whatever it was I was going to do. But there's also other forms, like even if you don't want to communicate for yourself, like the way I did, there's also when you're on investigations, like Sister and I are paranormal investigators. So when we do go out places, we've also got our divination tools. So your divination tools are your K2s. That's you'll indicate to ask the spirits, where are you? So you're in an investigation, you'll say, okay, spirits, can you please tell me if you're around? I need some sort of sign to know you're here. And then usually they'll turn the K2 on. And you can also ask them things like, okay, can you show me how close you are to me right now? We're lighting up the K2. So if they're standing right beside you and you know that you're communicating with them side by side, they would probably put it right up to the red. But if they're communicating with you maybe just and they're standing across from you, then they would probably do it halfway, just to show you an indicator of how close they are to you. But there's loads of ways you can communicate with the K2. Sister's done it loads of times. You want to add anything, sis?
You can use them to do talking to them as well, asking them to blink the machine for questions and stuff that we're asking them. They can do certain things. You can also get them to do that to show that they're there by asking them to go to a certain color. It kind of just influences and shows people that it's not just the machine doing something on its own. It's literally them communicating with it, because sometimes you can get little glitches in them where they go off because of like an electrical thing. So that's why you always see me or sis making sure that there ain't anything setting it off first. And then when they do a little touch, I go, oh, if that is you, could you just touch it again but make it go to the orange? And they'll do it. And then you know that somebody's directly communicating with you. It makes a noise as well. Some of them, they will make noises when they're touched. You can get them with little buzzers and stuff on them as well. So that can be used for a lot more than just testing energy. You can use them for communication. You can use them to make sure there isn't any electrical energy around that's going to affect them. All sorts of things. They're really, really good for investigations. And they're another thing I really enjoy using, definitely.
Yeah. There's so many tools, though. I mean, I've just showed you a couple of what
glowing balls. You've got your glowing balls.
Yeah. even
dowsing
just
rods, pendulums, Ovlius spirit box. You've got your temperature gun. You can get them to do similar things with the temperature gun, making the temperature go up or go down. You can do that sort of thing as well. And some of these temperature guns actually do have little screens on it, and you can actually see where the energy is standing as well.
I'll do it just
So that's
now.
really cool.
But there's so many. That's what I'm saying. Even some of the divination tools that we use to talk to the divine energies, you could probably use them ghost hunting as well. Do you know what I mean? Like there's some of the times. Sorry, sis, on you go.
Even your crystal balls, you could use go in there. Like another way with the crystal balls, if you haven't got a cloth that can go over your head, guys, what you need to do is make sure that all of the lights are out in your room. It needs to be in darkness. You need the ball to be on the table on top of either a black or a dark purple cloth. Place it onto the little structure that it sits on. Make sure it's clean as well, that you clean it off. And just put a little candle light to the back of the table, so it's not directly on the crystal ball, but it's just forming enough light to bring shadow in and movement, so that when something comes into the ball, you can see in the ball. At the minute, you'll see in this laptop. Don't start freaking out thinking that's some spirit trying to communicate with you. It is the laptop. But normally, when you're in darkness, you're not going to get no light apart from the little bit of the glare that the candle gives off. A lot of fortune tellers use things like crystal balls and the those cards that I was saying to you about, the fortune telling cards, and that it has to be dark so that it doesn't form any shadowing or any colouring into the ball, so that when you do start getting something, you know it's legit. You know that somebody is communicating. You know, so. And it's quite complicated to work with crystal balls. You've got to do quite a lot of studying for that, because you can get lots of symbols and they can mean different things depending on how they're sitting or how they're seen. Like you could get a triangle and it could be sitting upwards or downwards. And, you know, like obviously like for me, downwards with a line through it would be something to do with Mother Earth. That's the earth sign. If it's upwards, then it would be something else. I mean, like, you could see a cloud and the cloud is like a black color, then it's going into another color. These are all things you've got to be able to understand and be able to read for your crystal ball. It's not easy. It's not an easy tool to do.
Well, I've got as I was going to say as well, just when I spotted them, I've got the Cup of Destiny as well, which is basically your teacups, tea readings. So in that, just when Sister says that, they give in the book for that, it gives a lot of the symbols. And I think a lot of the symbols would be the same, sis, for like the crystal ball. So it really just depends on what you think it looks like.
Similar.
So, yeah. So say you suppose you looked
Slick
at it.
Light Space. Where could I get moon water from? Moon water, just boil your kettle 3 times, put it into a jug to cool down, put it into a bottle and put it out when there's a full moon or something. That's how you make moon water.
So say suppose you were looking in the crystal balls and you thought that you seen an umbrella or a parasol, okay? Then it would say that means that they're trying to tell you the essence of this symbol is protection from harm, loss or risk, usually financial or practical matters, but occasionally romantic situations. So it just depends on what you think you see through the crystal ball, through the tea readings and things. But it's all communicating with the divine, though. This all comes under divination. Even if you're just meditating and you're trying to talk to some sort of spirit, guide, ancestor, that's all what divination means, is the communication with spirit. But what else can you think of, sis? You want to talk about the runes, because you've got runes. I've got a set, but they're not as good. Runes is another form of divination to talk, maybe get some sort of insight to your life.
Yeah, and I've got quite a few. I've got like these types of runes, and then I've got another set as well, but they're in the front room somewhere, I think. But obviously, you've got like your different. Now, the runes are a very ancient way of speaking. They're a bit like your tarot cards, but they've got a bit more of a in-depth sort of message, where
Yeah.
the cards will give you the outline. The rune is normally just to the point. So you've obviously got different shapes on the runes as well, as you can see here, which all symbolize a different message and also symbolize a connection to an energy, a deity that they're connected to as well. So obviously you've got the different. So these would be known as like witches' runes. You can get Nordic runes, you can get Celtic runes. There are so many different types, and all of the signs are similar, but may influence different things.
Yeah, they maybe
So
just
normally
mean a little bit different.
with your runes, when you're doing your runes, you can either do it where you throw a handful up in the air and they land onto a table or a cloth, and if they're upwards, they're normally the ones that you're supposed to read. If they're sideways and they're upwards, then it is a reverse message. So the ones that are reversed and the ones upright are the ones that you're supposed to read. The ones that are facing downwards are normally the ones that you don't read.
Right.
So you would remove all of the downward ones. A lot of people that are doing rune readings as well will use a pendulum if they're not sure about certain ones and if they should be in the reading. The pendulum will illustrate if that is the right rune for the right reading or not. So normally it'll put you down to several stones. So you might have 2, you might have 4, you might have 5. It really depends on what they're trying to reach out and tell you about. You can obviously do past, present and future readings with your runes, just as you can with your cards and things as well. But a lot of people that come and have the rune readings normally want the rune readings because they need something answering there and then. Not something from the past, not something in the future, but something for the present and what's going on now. So
yeah,
there's a lot of different ones, guys. Like I believe I've got some Nordic. Some of mine are Nordic, and the other ones are like the normal runes, the witchy runes, because I've got some from the witchy fair. But these ones, like the Norse runes.
they're
These
lovely though. They
actually
really are nice.
were
The
tools
camera
that
doesn't
were
do them
used.
justice, guys. They're gorgeous.
They were also and they were also used a lot by the Vikings as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, way back in the day, they didn't have tarot cards and things. They didn't have, and that's another thing I've got. I've never ever used them, guys.
They would just put the letter that symbolises to them on top of just normal stone. Like if they had some stones they found outside, they would just do these symbols on there and make them as a way of doing communication and form. It's all about putting the will and the intent in. But as years have gone on, things are specially made for that now.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you've heard of these.
You know, you don't have to buy runes. You can make your own runes. Just get some little gemstones and put the patterns on. You've got your own runes.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. And it can be, as that Uncle Danny taught us when we were doing the how to pick your family to, it basically, I don't want to get into it because it's his teachings, but if you want to have a representation of your family, go out into the woods, go out into somewhere where there's loads of different beautiful stones, pick a stone that represents your family member. So maybe you see a nice blue one and it maybe reminds you your uncle or something, and you pick that stone, and for then on you've dedicated that to your uncle. That is your uncle spiritually. So things like that you can do, guys, and then maybe you can put symbolism on the top of that as well. So maybe he had a car or something that he was always, maybe he was a mechanic. Things like that all help you connect. It's all symbolization to your connection to your uncle, and that's why how you form your circle in the shaman path. You'll maybe get a representation of every single one of them, and you can put them on a bed of sand, and then you can call upon them, bring one of them into the centre, say, right, okay, I need to talk to your uncle, and you put him in the centre of your bowl, and that's you're communicating with him. But I wanted to ask you as well, have you ever heard of these? I mean, I got these out of Witchy Box. I don't know if you got them, sis, out of Frere's Cauldron. It was handcrafted ogham staves. So I don't know what these are actually used for, guys. Maybe if there's some of you in the comments that know about the Ogham stuff, you can comment. But basically, they're like a little bit of wood, and they've got little holes in them, and then they've got little symbols on them as well. So these were obviously
They're a bit
made.
like the card readings list. You might want to ask Pups, because Pups has got them. They're like little cards, but they're done in sticks, so you pull certain sticks.
Yeah, I don't know where the book is from. They're probably in my teachings book. But yeah, that's obviously like the tarot cards, sis, isn't it? And maybe the runes as well.
Yeah,
Or
it
no,
is.
the
Yeah.
much the
It
runes.
is,
The
yeah.
runes.
It's just done in another form. It's done in sticks, because not every culture uses cards. They'll use sticks or bones and things like that. It's just the same thing.
Yeah, Mystical Loving Lady, who's in, I don't know if Mystical's in the chat,
Yeah.
guys, but she uses bones and things. But yeah, so that's another form of divination, going back to when we didn't have tarot cards and things. They obviously found sticks and things like that. They would carve symbols in and make the holes in and things, and each of them would probably be a choice of some sort.
Stones, all sorts.
There's so many. Can you think of any more, sis? Any more divination tools? There's so many, isn't there?
Crystals.
If you guys in chat can
Crystals
think
can be-
yeah, crystals.
Crystals can be a divination tool as well. Putting crystals down and focusing on them in a light, that can be
Doing a crystal
a
grid.
form of communication. Some crystals allow energies to come through and communicate and can give messages to you. So crystals are another thing that you can use.
Yep.
Yeah, you can get them in stone for the runes. You can get wood. You can get bone. Anything to do the runes. They do in all types.
My favourite divination tool to talk to the spirits is the spirit box, okay? Whenever when I'm out investigating and I use the K2 and things, that's more to locate that there is actually spirits around you at that moment in time. But when I'm going out, I like the spirit box. I've got a spirit box here, guys, and I have done some protection, and I did say a little prayer. I don't know if any of you want to say a quick prayer yourself or not. The protection is up, okay? This is the K2, and it's called a spirit box. So this is my trusted one. If I want to hear, I use Necrophonic, which is an app on my phone. I use that because I've used it for about 6 years. So I know now what voices to look for. And you don't put the reverb and the echo on, you leave it off. And then that way you're just hearing normal voices. So with the Necrophonic, I can usually hear pretty good. But it's not their tony voice. With the spirit box, which I've got a PSP7 here, the original PSP7, you hear their tone. So whenever I turn the PSP7 on and I know that my die, which is a word, die is Gaelic for granddad. So whenever I hear my die, he's always got like a softer, gentlemanly voice comes through this. Mr. Mackenzie's got a deeper voice coming through it. Billy, you can tell it's Billy straight away. And Stephen as well, you can tell it's him straight away. That's why I like the spirit box if I'm communicating with my guides. I'll turn it on quickly, guys, just to show you just what it's like when it's on. Hopefully it won't be up too bloody loud. I've not got a speaker attached to it, so I'll just bring it round. So it goes to all different strengths as well. You can speed it at 100, 150, 200, 250 and 300. I usually leave it about 150. Usually you can hear them pretty good come through that. Can I just ask if any of my guys are around and you want to speak through the box just to let the people hear your voice? Right, we'll turn it up, guys, right?
Yes, you are correct. There are also divination dice, definitely.
Yeah, I've got the divination dice here, guys. I just haven't paid Oh, that's wee Maggie.
Hey,
Maggie,
spirits.
you to say hello. All my speakers are upstairs.
How are you, spirits? Missed you.
This one's not as good as it used to be. It's better when you put it through the speaker. Let me see if I can put it through my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't because it's no Bluetooth. Oh, sugar. I'm going to get a speaker here. All the speakers are upstairs. What we'll do is we'll try
you can get charms. I've actually got a charm bag here, but I got the charms all myself.
Okay, Spirit, so if I can't hear you, I was just demonstrating the tool, okay? So thank you if you did come through, and we will talk to you another time, okay? Blessed be. Okay, guys, the spirits are not going to come through anyway because I didn't call them to come in, so they're probably not going to come in. But that's just another tool, and that is also divination. Remember, if you want to, as I said, I can hear my granddad's and things voice through this. It's another way to communicate with them. But my advice to you is, if you're going to go that far to communicate with them, just be careful because spirits do lie. So maybe you're thinking you're talking to your granddad or something, and it could be somebody else's granddad or something. So that's just a word of caution. I mostly keep that for paranormal investigating, but you can use it to talk to your energies around you guys.
Yeah, but obviously with your loved ones as well, there may be specific things that your loved ones know about you or know about you and them, which another spirit wouldn't know. So asking things to like make sure that it's them. If somebody can't, if your granddad can't answer a question he should know, then you know you're not talking to your granddad. When you're using spirit boxes or any type of divination tool, always make sure that you've got protection and candles and sage and all things around you at all times, crystals. Make sure you've got your protection amulets and stuff on. Like, just make sure that you're protected. You do your prayers in ways that you know, you might be somebody that believes in God, Jesus. You might be somebody that's a witch like us. You know, I believe in a bit of everything, so I will use the Lord's Prayer, and I'll use a prayer that I use to my gods and my goddesses, to Mother Earth, to Mother Nature. I always make sure that I've protection and candles and stuff lit around me at any point before I go, or I'm going to do anything when I'm there, or if I'm in the room. If I feel that there's a reason to do it again, I'll do it again and burn my sages and stuff to keep me protected, and then I'll do it when I leave or when I'm finished. I'll always make sure that I keep protected. There's the dice. Yeah, I've got dice as well. I've got 2 white ones.
It's just normal dice, basically, guys. It's just 3 dice. It's just that they're different colours, just so you can tell. And I do believe if you are doing the dice, that you use it just as you would use, maybe just ask questions, and you'll ask, okay, maybe can my spirit guides use the yellow dice or something? You know, use your imagination as well with all these tools. There's not certain ways that you have to do it. If you feel as if you just want to use the blue dice, for example, you think, oh, okay, 1 dice is enough, then do that. Don't have to think that you have to use
2. I find it too confusing if I use 3. I always just do 2 dice. I do. I've got a smaller dice and a bigger dice, so they're slightly different. And one's a bit yellowish and one's a little bit.
You don't have to be the same, guys. It's just all to do with your communication. As I keep saying, everything that you use to communicate with spirits and your divine energies is all what you make it to be. So everything is up to what you do. If you put whatever intent you put into it, whatever preparation you put into it, is what you're going to get. So always, well, you can't always, but try and plan ahead before you go to do any divination. Try and have a little bit of structure in your head.
And just research, guys, because obviously some of the tools we get come with notebooks and ways to do it. And there'll be things like when you get your runes and stuff like that, they haven't always got booklets with them, like your pendulums and stuff. But there's a lot of information you can get hold of on what certain things mean and what they stand for, how to use the pendulum, how to use dowsing rods. There are stuff all over the net and in books, and even people that you watch that will be able to give you that advice. So make sure you do your studying.
That's good. And listen, see if you are thinking about doing tarot, remember there's a lot of teaching decks out there. For example, there's a teaching deck tarot that I've got. I think my mum got me these for my Christmas or something. So this tarot card's actually to help you teach divination. So this is the 60? It's the 6 of Pentacles. So on the 6 of Pentacles, it will tell you when it's upright. It means giving receiving, sharing, wealth, generosity, charity. So if you can try and learn the cards by always just shuffling them and maybe doing them every, just playing around them, you gradually get to know what their meanings are. I do everything by my intuition, though, guys. I follow the way the cards go to a certain extent, but I more do intuitive reading with my tarot. But this does tell you, like, for example, if you wanted a yes/no answer with these, then it's got a little yes at the bottom. So even if you just wanted a quick yes/no question when you're doing tarot, then you would always know. But this is a teaching deck. Buy the teaching deck, and then it'll show you how, just to get used to what the cards all mean. It even tells you when it's up, when it's reversed. Reverse means self-care, unpaid debts, one-sided charity, strings attached, power and domination. And it gives you keywords as well. So just maybe use that.
You can get things to help you out. And Salam, I've been using electronic devices to connect with spirit for a very long time. Same as Sister Drew. We've been doing it for a while now. Obviously, we went out and had to learn ourselves on how to use, but I'd always been used to using myself physically. So using devices for me was a bit daunting. But once you get used to them and you learn how to be protected and how to use them, and that, they're really cool to work with.
Get your questions ready, guys. We are going to do questions with the divination coin.
Yes.
Yeah, and remember, Salem, as well. You can get other electronic things. Like you can get like, I've got the camera as well. That'll show you the spirit there. So you can also use like your spirit box along with your thermal imaging camera. You know that something's there.
SLS cameras
as well.
SLS cameras as well, which are the ones that show the stick figures. There's so many devices out there. There's loads.
See, they're to back up what you're hearing. So they're type of things that you'll communicate with your spirit box and your K2 and things, and then you'll turn on the SLS, and that's just for confirmation there is something there that you're talking to and things. So it's all under the divination banner, though, because some of these tools you use because you are communicating with the divine energies, you know. Is there anything you want to add, sis? About any of the tools that we spoke about, like the tarot or the oracles? You were going to talk about the different angel cards and things.
Yeah, I was going to do this all as like a show on my channel, going in more detail and like getting the history and stuff like that. But
so remember that one.
It's just really important that you learn about all of your deities and energies you're working with. You've got to remember, you're not just working with gods and goddesses. You've got angels, you've got guides, you've got totems, you've got all sorts of energy that you're going to be communicating with. So it is really important to do your research and understand the ones you're wanting to communicate with, the ones that are reaching out to you, getting to know them a little bit better. You know, that is really important. Angels are a really good way to talk to the other side and to be able to get like direct questions to if you're needing help or if there's something wrong. So they are definitely something on the list.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to see if there's anything else at this book we can talk about at the book before we do any more.
If anybody's wanting any coin things, just say in the room, guys. So I've already got one person down that they.
Yeah,
you love my dragon cards. I'm going to be getting them all back out. I've got a new fairy deck as well, which is really, really cool.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we will be doing divination. Tonight was a bit. See, we want to do divination for you every Tuesday, and we will be doing divination every Tuesday, tarot and different things. But tonight I wanted to show you just how many different divination tools there actually is. And then we'll do the divination coin for any of you that's maybe wants answers.
No,
welcome, George. So even if it's an yes, no, because I am sure the two of you have been connecting to spirit entities before electronics. I started with
entities before electronics.
Right. As I said, the Ouija board won't work for me, guys. I've got one on my wall there that I've had for ages. I used to just keep my laptop on it. That's the first one that I tried. And through listening to the spirit box, but sorry, I recorded it and I had the spirit box going on when I was trying it, and through
I've never really been somebody.
Sorry.
Not really ever been somebody that likes a Ouija board. I'm not really somebody that's into a Ouija board. I just don't feel that I need to use them. Mirrors, I think they're fascinating, but again, mirrors are portals, and you have to be really careful when you're using them, and you definitely need to know how to use them as well. I've got a little tiny black mirror here, but I don't really use it very much. To be honest, I've never needed to use tools because I've got abilities. I've always been able to communicate and connect with spirit. So I have been connecting all my life with spirit. It's just I use the electronics and I use the devices that I use for those that are not able to see, so that they can see something going on and know something's happening.
Confirmation. It's confirmation. Welcome in, Brother Michael. Nice to see you here. So, guys, is there any questions?
Under the wrong account.
Yeah. Would you like to?
Scott wanted one, sis.
Okay.
Scott wants to know if his mum's okay on the other side.
Okay. Can I just ask my energies, my divine ones, to please step forward and answer Brother Scott's question?
Anybody else wants one, please put in the room.
You would like to know, is his mum okay on the other side? Can you please answer that question through the divination coin I've got in my hand? Thank you, Sia. Oh, God, I dropped it. Oh, it just dropped to yes. Instantly. I felt it actually fall out of my hand. I thought I had dropped it. Yes, Brother Scott, she is fine. That's nuts. I should put the camera down. They didn't want me to flip it.
Okay, Kerry, what question are you wanting, sis? Because you said yes, please. So, what are you wanting Sister Drew to ask the other side?
I'm gonna put the camera down so we can see.
You don't have to say it out loud. You could just say it in your head. You can pick up on the energy.
Yeah, I can just ask what your question is that you can answer it. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to write the question in the room. You could just say, "Can I think it?"
Okay. My divine energies behind me, my ancestors, my love.
Sister Kerry, you don't have to. Just think about the question in your head, and your guides will talk to Sis's guides.
Yeah. Can you please answer the question that Sister Kerry has asked? She may not say it out loud, but she has got a question in her head that she would like our divine ones to answer. Can you please help with her question, please? Thank you, Sia. No.
No.
So whatever it is, it's no.
Anybody else wanting one?
I'll try to get it so you can see them. There we go, that's better. Didn't realise it was... That's okay, Brother Scott. I'm glad I could help you. George is my other puppet at my other account, talking about good and evil through puppets. All right, yeah. Hub. Okay. Hope that meant something to you, Sister Kara. If there's nobody got any other questions for the coin, then we can just talk more about some of the other divination tools and how you use them. I just miss her at times. Definitely, Brother Scott. We all miss our loved ones, and that is why you keep their memory alive, okay? So I'm a great believer in when your loved ones do pop into your head. So say supposing you're just standing there doing your dishes, for example, and all of a sudden your mum pops into your head. I'm a great believer in that's to let you know that your mother is with you at that moment in time. And it's a way of her communicating with you, just to let you know that she's around you. And there's other little subtle things like that they'll do just just to let you know they're around. I mean, I Sister Sherry can see spirits and things. I just sense them. And I didn't always sense them, by the way. But now I can see their light out the corner of my eye as well. So if I was sitting here talking to you and there was a spirit in my kitchen, for example, I would probably see it out the corner of my eye, just as a black shadow or a black mist going past. If there's other spirits around that maybe they're not as strong as that spirit to do a full manifestation of itself, then you will just see little lights. And that's just, I think, that their way just to let you know they're around you, but they're not going to bother you and things. I don't know if Sister Sherry believes the same or not.
I just believe that everybody sees them at different levels as well. So not everybody's going to be able to fully see them the way that I do. They may see them the way you're seeing them, Sister Drew, or they may just see like the light, but not really feel anything. There's so many different ways to being able to communicate and connect with them, and they've got their ways of communicating with you that they know that you're able of. So it could be just something as simple as them talking into your head and answering something you've asked out in your head, or you've asked out loud, or you might be able to see an outline of a spirit, but not the actual spirit themselves, just the outline of them. You may only be able to see part of a spirit. You may only be able to sense them or feel them. It's different for everybody.
Guys, I'm going to do a postcard for spirit for the full community. But if there is anybody in the chat right now and you would like a postcard from spirit, just to give you a little bit of an uplift, then definitely let us know, okay?
Sending you lots of love, Paranormal Hub brother. I hope that you start feeling a little bit more happier. We're sending you blessings.
Oh, sending you strength and many blessings, brother Michael. Remember, you're a very special person, okay? Some people may not get your character and things, but that doesn't mean to say that your character is wrong or your character is unlikable or anything like that. It just means that you're unique.
You're cool, guys.
And we all think you're funny and things like that. So sometimes I think I took it to heart. I've just realised through doing shadow work, guys, that a lot of the things I felt in my life, I was unjust. I was unjustified at being treated that way. I realise now, looking on it like in an adult's head, I realise that a lot of it I've took banter, which is people maybe just joking around. I've took that really to heart. And a lot of things that's been said throughout my life as maybe teenagers and things that I thought, okay, if my big brother is saying to me that I'm ugly, I'm this and this and this, then it must be true. So therefore, I believed that throughout my life until now as an adult, I can sit and think, he was saying that as a teenage boy just to jive me. Why did I take that to heart so much? And it's because I valued his opinion. I valued my big brother's opinion, but also in that, remember that sometimes people, you can take their opinion, which they didn't really mean to give, and you've took that to heart. So basically, that's what shadow work's kind of teaching me as well, that some of the times when people have commented on something, I've took it to heart, whereas I should just have ignored it. But, so just always remember, pick and choose what affects you. Pick and choose your battles and things as well in life. Don't always think that because somebody says something that they mean it the way that it's said. Because I think I was guilty of that a lot growing up, and I think that's why I was so affected with my confidence and things. So I'm going to do everybody a
postcard. So did you say you do a postcard from Spirits List?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, guys, if you're wanting any cards, please just put a 1 in the room and I'll write your names down. It's for a postcard with spirits.
We'll do one for the community first, okay?
Yeah, we're doing a community one, but while Sister's doing that, if you write in the room, I can get your names down.
Okay, thank you, sis. Okay, so the divine energies want to tell us tonight, dear you, check in occasionally with yourself about your motives behind actions you plan on taking, especially when you have an end game in mind. Is the source of your motivation desire or entitlement? What is it, son?
Just before I forget, don't use that.
Wait a minute, I'll mute this. 2 seconds.
Please put a 1 in the room, guys. I've got you two sisters. I have a question for Willow and Drew. The question is, what is your spirit animal that you feel connected to? My one is my main one is my wolves, and then it would be my owl.
Mine's is my
I've
wolves
got
and
other
then my
ones as
raven.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I forgot Liam had told me that the soap powder I was using was making him itchy. I forgot he was allergic to it. So he was just reminding me that I had used it in his clothes again. So I do apologise. I'll need to get new soap powder. Okay, so let's see what the divine energies are wanting to tell us. I do apologise, guys. So check in occasionally with yourself about your motives behind actions you plan on taking, especially when you have an end game in mind. Is this source of your motivation, desire, or entitlement? Maybe you're drawn to a certain path because you think it will bring you a feeling related to the outcome you seek, like safety or wholeness. Know that you will see a reflection in the outer world of the motive that drives you forward. Do you need a motive? Can you simply be pulled in the direction your soul calls you towards? Joy, discovery, growth, or adventure? Participating in something compelling and meaningful without trying to define it? If you can step forward, surrounded to whatever spirit has in store for you, you will be amazed at how things turn out. Check your motives, then hand them over to spirit. Everybody here wants the best for you. Life loves you more than you know. So it's but that card is basically just telling us all not to have too many expectations about things in life. I let her out, son. Not to have too much expectations about things in life. To sometimes just go with the flow and accept everything that you have got right now in your life. So I think that's a good message for us all tonight. Is there anybody want a card, sis?
Yeah, Kerry sis wants a card.
Okie dokie. Okay. Can I please ask my spirit guides to connect to Sister Kerry's guides to give her the best message tonight moving forward? Thank you. See you. Well, they're really thinking about it for you, Sister Kerry. Okay, here we go. Dear you, there is always more than one side to an argument. Two sides, if not more, to every story. And hundreds of ways to be right, to be different, to be at odds, and so on. Today, we suggest that instead of looking for differences, you find a meeting place or an agreement and an approach that this experience with understanding and compassion. Seek common ground to understand how another person thinks or how an alternative plan might be laid. Stay out of judgment too. Observe, discern, but accept that others have different stories, experiences, and journeys, and some people might refuse to remain open to another's point of view. No matter what you've been no matter what you've presented with, a great opportunity to explore a new way of doing things once common ground is reached. You're attracting people and situations that enrich your life and bring you wonderful things to learn. We love you so much. Hope that means something to you, Sister Kara. It's a good card.
Lovely.
Anybody else, sis?
The next person is Sister Kim.
Hi, Amelia Sixth Sense. Nice to see you again. Okay, this is for our Kim. Okay, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors, can I please ask you to connect to Sister Kim's guides to give her the best message tonight moving forward? Thank you. See you. Okay, Kimmy, there it's there. I just about had it back in. Okay, dearest Ju, you have a unique purpose and destiny that only you can fulfill. But first, you need to know that destiny isn't a destination. You don't arrive at some special place where poof, you're perfect and happy all the time. It's about establishing and firming up a commitment to a certain experience, whatever form that takes. Your soul knows what you need to experience. Your destiny is to be present to all of life's adventures, to discover your talents and fulfill potential through allowing inspiration to lead you, and to risk standing apart from the crowd to listen to your soul. You are special as much as you're part of the great whole. Both truths have led you to this moment where we are saying you are on the right track. Even if your ego self doesn't see that, listen to your soul. Check in with spirit. Keep going. Spirit loves you. Life loves you. We love you. That's a great card, Kim, and I think you've had that before. It's a great card.
Next one is Paranormal Hub.
Appreciated. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I'll put it up on the screen. Oh, it's because I'm under broomsticks. I can't put it up, sis. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hang on a minute. I can get it. Paranormal Hub is next, sis.
Okay.
Thank you for that, for sis. Super chat sticker. Very cute.
Okay, can I
Lovely
please ask
Sixth Sense Media.
to Brother
There you go.
Michael's
I'll put it up.
to give him the best message moving forward. Thank you. See ya. Thank you, Amelia. It's appreciated. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, dearest Jew, selfless giving is an elixir so sweet and life-giving and amazing that it should be customary for everyday living. Right now, generosity is being asked of you. Let go of the debt, release an obligation, or do so solid kindness to everyone for no other reason than an exercise of the heart. You will be surprised how quickly a generous heart is repaid. We know it often doesn't happen in the immediate exchange. So temper your expectations. Know that life has an uncanny way of sending miracles seemingly unrelated to your kindness, yet interconnected in magical ways. The more you act from generosity, the bigger your heart grows and the more love and abundance you will experience. We also know that someone could be entering your life with a generous offer for you. Take it and trust you are worthy and deserving of it. You have to receive, not just give. We love you so much over here. Hope that means something to you, Brother Michael. It's a good card.
The next person is Salem.
Okay, Salem. Okay, can I please ask my spirit guides to step forward to connect to Salem's guides to give them the best message moving forward? Thank you. See you. Oh my goodness, they're quick on the ball tonight. Okay, dear you, uncertainty is the new normal for the whole world. Things are changing in a rapid pace, and the old ways we once trusted are no longer reliable. But leaving the familiar behind can be a good thing. When you are pushed to step when you are pushed to step into the unknown, you are pulled forward into discovering new possibilities that have been hidden in plain sight. Check in with your higher power. Your soul knows better than your small self. Have faith in the support of a higher power and the infinite potential for your life. Right now, the advice we have for you is this: try something new, do something different. You won't know how it feels, what it looks like, or what the outcome will be if you don't not take the first step into the unknown and experience the unfamiliarity. You'll be so glad you did because the treasure will appear. We're so proud of you for being brave. You are so loved and supported. I hope that means something to you, Salem. That is another inspirational card. Thank you, Spirit. I'll shut this back door.
Yeah, Paranormal Hub said that makes 100% sense, Drew. Thank you. That was good.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to like them. Good stuff. Is there anybody else?
The next person is Brother Scott.
Okay. Okay, can I please ask my spirit guides to connect to Brother Scott's spirit guides and give him the best message tonight moving forward? Thank you, see you. We're finding the right card for you, brother. I know it's quick. Oh, there it's there. Just put it back in. Okay, dear you. Now is one of those times you are being asked to add some distance. Take a step back and do nothing but observe. Don't worry about how long it will take to regroup. Just know it's temporary and actually an opportunity to take a breath, slow down and look at how far you've come. Decisions for the highest good are made when you have clarity, which comes from being open to information from both the intellect and the intuition. When you step into the role of observer, it's as if you turn on a switch that allows your soul to be an essential part of the information gathering and decision making process. In this way, you can approach things from a more neutral and non judgmental place. We know you'll make the right choice. Trust us when we say now is not the time to get too close to the fray. Step back now. You will be glad you did. Love you. Hope that means something to you, Brother Scott. That's a bit deep, but I do believe it's a message you need to hear. Thank you, Spirit. Things are changing for me. I do have faith and for the known. Thank you, Drew. Well, thank you, Salem. I love reading for people, and when I hear that some of the cards that I read are really apt in your life, that just makes me want to read more. Thank you very much for the feedback.
I don't see anybody else, sis. Do me. I'll have one. I don't see anyone else that wants one at the minute.
Okay, I'll do Sister Sherry one, then I'll do myself one, guys, and then we'll say our goodbyes and things, okay? Right, okay, let's say for Sister Sherry. Could I please ask my spirit guides to step forward and connect to Sister Sherry's guides and give her the best message moving forward? Thank you, see you. They definitely want you to have this one. Okay, dearest Jew. On Earth, humans learn about life by telling stories and creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating one often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself and the world. So, to get the answers you seek, you must get vulnerable and hear your story when you tell it. Ask, why do you tell it? Is it really true? What else can be true? Can you see the truth that spirit is in all things? Do you see how other stories overlap and intertwine? Spirit loves your stories, for they are like blueprints for co-creation. So tell the ones we know to be true about your story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowered story about well-being, wisdom, and grace. You will experience your world accordingly to the story you tell about it. So make sure your stories you're proud of, genuine loving club. That is amazing, Sister Sherry. That is so apt for you.
That is stunning.
Thank you, Spirit.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Kim says she was done second, sweet pie. You was done second. You was after Kerry.
Okay, I'll give myself one, guys.
So if you go back on the show, you'll be able. If you go back to the beginning of the show where the cards start, you'll hear Kerry's, and then yours is next.
Yours was quite a good one too, Kim.
You must.
Yeah. Okay, Spirit guys, can you please give me a message moving forward tonight's one that you think I need to hear? Thank you, see you. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much, Spirit. Dearest wonderful you, to help you manifest a life. Wait, I shout at my dog, guys. 2 seconds. She must see somebody outside. What a dog. Okay, dearest, wonderful.
That was in a minute.
Thank you, sis. To help you manifest a life for the highest good, we invite you to examine your deepest desires. Imagine all your desires, no matter what kind, like magic seed pods in a basket, glowing with infinite potential. Look closely at each one. Are you afraid that some may bring you too much attention and invite negative reactions from others? Yes, I am. Is change too daunting? Yes. Are you afraid to stretch and grow? Sometimes. Let yourself be led forward and let the seeds of positive intention take to the wind. This is nuts. Your desires count and you are worthy of them. They are essential for co-creating your world. Did you ever consider that when a desire out comes from deep within you, it might be spirit moving you to create something beautiful to share with others? Some desires are infused with miraculous powers to move the heart and influence the world.
Sis, you've muted.
Sorry guys, I do it all the time. I forget to unmute. I'll read this again. Unless there's any lip readers in the house. Where's Mystical? She can read my lips. This is actually quite apt for me, this card, guys. Listen to this. To help you manifest a life for the highest good, we invite you to examine your deepest desires. Imagine all your desires, no matter what kind, like magic seed pods in a basket, glowing with infinite potential. Look closely at each one. Are you afraid that some may bring you too much attention and invite negative reactions from others? Yes, I am. And from others, and is change too daunting? Yes. Are you afraid to stretch and grow? Yes, sometimes. Let yourself be led forward and let the seeds of positive intentions take to the wind. Your desires count and you are worthy of them. They are essential for co-creating your world. Did you ever consider that when a desire comes from deep within you, it might be spirit moving you to create something beautiful to share with others? Some desires are infused with miraculous powers to move the heart and influence the world in ways you can't possibly know. We know you and love you so deeply. That's not Santa. It's so apt for me that
We've got one more person wanting a card, sis.
Okay, who?
Your fella. Your fella's wanting one.
Okay, William. Okay. Okay, Spirit guys, can I please ask you to step forward and give William a message tonight? Or connect with William, Spirit guys, and give him the best message.
That's the last card now, guys.
Thank you. See ya. Most people like these ones, guys. Oh, there we go, will it? Right, you listening? I shouted Sparkle again.
You're muted.
There we go. Right, okay, William, this is for you. Dearest Jew, over here there is no mystery for us to unravel. As we know intermittently how connected we all are, how the web of creation works, and how spirits is in every aspect of life. From the inevitable to the invisible, but it's impossible for humans to comprehend the complexities of how things actually work, because the most important threads in the tapestry don't make sense in the dimension we live in. That said, you can feel the importance of these currencies of energy that bring events together in miraculous ways. You can't understand with your mind, but you can know with your heart and soul. Trust that even though you don't know the how, the what, or the why, We do. Surrender to the mystery and have faith that the unseen world is watching you with loving eyes as spirit weaves your life's mysteries and beautiful tapestries in glorious technicolor. Loving you so much, as always. Hope that meant something to you, William. It's a nice card. Thank you, Spirit. Well, guys, that was a little bit about divination tonight.
It was lovely.
And it's only the surface, to be honest with you. There's such a rabbit hole you could go down with all their different cards and things. I mean, there I showed you an example of how to use some of the divination in your daily life for different answers. You can use that for clients and things as well. Sometimes I've only just started this using 3 and 4 decks. When I do read somebody a reading, I do my tarot, I do postcard for spirit, and sometimes I'll do the Oracle EE. It's up there. And that's just to give you a little bit of deeper aspect to how things are going in your life, who's all involved in your life, and maybe things for your past that's affecting you. Sometimes it can show that there's generational curses and things there that you then have to go on and find somebody to try and clear. Divination is such a rabbit hole, guys, that you can absolutely connect to any spirit, and if you know how to do it, of course, and the spirit is willing. But yeah, I love divination, guys.
You definitely can.
I love reading for people to use this.
Oh yeah,
I absolutely love reading for everybody.
I do. It's one of my favourite things, reading for other people, and it's really nice to see the reactions and the comments as well. So yes, it's lovely doing it.
It's a pleasure to read for everybody. I really love it. Sparkle's not too happy. Wait, I'll bring her in the living room. Sparkle, come here. Here. Come on in. Yeah, come on up here. Good girl. Stay out there and you'll get annoyed. Stay out. Oh, she just gets herself annoyed, guys, at different things out there. Probably cats and things. So we are going to end the show tonight, guys. So next week, for my divination show on Tuesday, we are going to get back to maybe doing some answers for you. So remember, it's important to bring a friend with you if you do think they want to hear some messages for spirit and things. Give them a link. Give the Within the Cauldron link to anybody you think that could be benefiting from these shows. But I really do appreciate Within the Cauldron for letting us go out on their stream yards and throughout all their different communities. So guys, definitely check them out, and remember, check out Sister Sherry's show as well, which is on a Monday. I don't know if you have any other shows, sis. Do you want to tell them a bit about what you've got coming up?
I know there's a few shows that is going on the Within the Cauldron. There's one on the 25th to do with a coven in England.
Good.
We've got a few shows going on tonight. There's a show on tonight as well, so check them out. You're gonna have to just keep an eye out on my channel, because I think I'm probably gonna start doing some like readings and stuff, like my dragons and fairy readings on a Sunday.
Good.
And I would like to get this educational show out as well at some point as well, like from my channel as well. So yeah, just keep an eye out, guys.
Yeah, definitely, guys. And remember, I will be getting back to, even though I have got this show on Within a Cauldron, guys, I will be doing little wee things on my own channel. As is today, I did put up a little vlog once I walked up from my daughter's house. So just keep checking all the channels out. And remember, check each other out, which is very important. Always show support to your community. So yeah, guys, so remember, just check out all the different shows that Within the Cauldron has now got on everybody's channels. There are amazing shows that are so intelligent, all these people, and they know their stuff.
Oh, they are.
They really do know their stuff. So please always show respect in the comments and things, and show the love. Thank you. I'll get Sister Sherry to end the show, guys, because I've not got control of the button. Just have a blessed day. Rest of your day.
Lots of love, light and blessings, guys, and I'm going to just play the intro that she's got to go out as well, and we'll see you next week, guys.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Blessings. Bless me.
Blessings.